All right, let me share my screen here. Okay, share my screen. All right, hello everyone. Connor Allwell. I'm taking the position of kind of the counterpoint to antioxidant supplementation, how most multivitamins or most over-the-counter supplements you can buy at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS have antioxidant supplements with them. I'm going to be challenging that narrative that antioxidants are good for us and talking about how the negative side effects of over supplementation and just some interactions with certain disease states and why antioxidants may not be optimal for us. We'll get started here. So it's defined by Harvard Medical School. They define antioxidants as a general term used to describe any compound or chemical that can neutralize unstable molecules that damage DNA and cell membranes. So by its definition that they provided, being an antioxidant is a chemical property and not a nutritional one. As a dietetics major, I feel like I fall into that narrative that antioxidants are nutritional in nature and they're more chemical property in nature. So it's important to determine, the divide there that, hey, this is a chemical property. It's not necessarily a nutritional one, as multiple things can be antioxidants. However, as dietitians, we view them in the light of just as a nutritional property or from a nutritional food. So we'll get moving on to the next slide here. So how antioxidants work. Here we have a oxygen atom and the antioxidant. So breaking this down, the oxygen atom loses an electron, and the antioxidant, the vitamin, the mineral, it provides another electron to neutralize this charged species here, this reactive species. So when we lose an electron, this oxygen atom then becomes more charged, more polarized, and so it can interact with cell membranes, cell walls, DNA. All these things are charged molecules as well. Oxygen being a very potent and very strong one usually will overpower anything else that it runs into, which is what makes them so damaging to our cellular processes and our body. So antioxidants do have an important role. I'm just taking the point that supplementation of them is not optimal and not good for us. So antioxidants are good. However, in this scenario, we do want them. So in the human body, common ones that we know that we can consume through nutrition would be vitamin C, vitamin E, minerals being copper, selenium, and zinc, produced by the body, which I didn't know some of these till this presentation, but alpha lipoic acid, glutathione, and N-acetylcysteine. In my readings, I found that these are more potent antioxidants in that they handle more load of antioxidants, where the nutrition ones can be more supplemental and definitely beneficial. These three at the bottom here definitely hold more potency than the top. So moving into our first kind of special topic in antioxidant supplementation, we're going to be talking about antioxidants and cancer. It's long been hypothesized that antioxidants may be cancer protective. Until my readings here, I thought the same thing. However, it shows that they may be damaging, or they neutralize. So antioxidants neutralize reactive oxygen species, which we know can cause DNA damage and lead to cancer. However, according to the National Cancer Institute, antioxidant supplementation may promote tumor growth and metastasis. So metastasis being the spreading of cancer tumors and cancer cells to other parts of the body. So an example would be if someone has lung cancer and the cancer metastasized, they would then also have not only cancer in their lungs, but they could also have it in their liver, their throat, things connected to the lungs. And that's the term basically for cancer spreading. So some of the largest clinical trials looking at antioxidant supplementation had to be aborted due to higher incidences of cancer in those receiving supplements. So that's very, very concerning in that most over-the-counter supplements that you can buy at the store do have antioxidants in them. And so they're abandoning clinical trials due to incidences of cancer shows that high doses of supplements of antioxidants could be very harmful. So continuing on, a 2014 study by Sain et al. Using a mouse model with human lung cancer cells was conducted. The antioxidants used were vitamin E or N-acetylcysteine. They were added to the diet of mice with small lung tumors. Mice with the added antioxidants in their diet saw an increase in tumor size, number of tumors, and the stage of tumor. So antioxidants, once provided with a patient that already has cancer, could potentially make it much, much worse, which is something that we need to keep an eye on, especially in as we're in MNT, and we might see some cancer patients that we might want to be considerate of. Hey, we hear antioxidants are a good thing to prevent cancer, but once cancer is already established and is a disease state, antioxidant supplementation could be very, very harmful. So why did this happen? The researchers found that vitamin E and the acetylcysteine as antioxidants, they did their job. They reduced reactive oxygen species and DNA damage in the cancer cells. However, in cancer cells and in cells we want to get rid of our body, we are looking to have reactive oxygen species, as they're a marker to say, hey, these cells they're not good. They need to be cleared out for our immune system. They can activate the immune system. So decreased activation of the gene P53, a tumor suppressive gene, is activated by DNA damage. So if we're overloading cancer cells and repairing their DNA damage, we're effectively hindering our own immune response against cancer. So we need to be considerate of the effects of those antioxidants and how certain genes are turned on and off depending on the oxygen state of the cell. So just to highlight other antioxidant studies, we have vitamin E supplementation did not significantly decrease the risk of cardiovascular disease, death, or stroke compared to the control study or the control group. Researchers discouraged use of vitamin E in further studies of patients who are known to be at high risk of heart disease. And it is noted that the American Heart Association has a notice on their website stating not to take vitamin C, A, or E supplements, as they have no effect and do not decrease the risk of heart disease or stroke. Another study, being beta-carotene vitamin A supplementation, led to a statistically significant increase in all-cause mortality and a slight increase in cardiovascular death. So researchers noted concern as beta-carotene doses are common in over-the-counter vitamin supplements, something to keep our eyes on. Vitamin A, we hear right now, good for the eyes. However, supplementation does seem to have some risk with cardiovascular disease. So moving on to, we've kind of talked about antioxidants, what they do, how they function, some negative aspects of them and some good aspects of them. So we're going to talk about a few more benefits and kind of where they come from. And over here we have some negative on the right side, kind of some negative antioxidants coming in. And these can be negative over here as well, but they can also be bonuses. So we'll talk about these two here, mainly the mitochondria metabolism and the immune system inflammation here. So free radicals, as we talked about earlier, are damaging based on their chemical properties. The human body generates free radicals from normal cellular processes. The immune system uses these free radicals to attack and destroy viruses, bacteria, and clear out damaged cellular debris. So that'd be this inflammation down here with the white blood cell. We hear enzymatic activity in the cytotoxic T cells. The enzymatic activity, one of the things they're doing with those enzymes is generating reactive oxygen species to clear out and kill and destroy whatever they're sent to do. Moving on to physical activity and the metabolism here, we have physical activity and exercise generate free radicals in order to sensitize muscle cells to insulin. So we know physical activity increases insulin sensitivity, and one of the ways muscle cells become more sensitive is due to an elevated level of reactive oxygen species when we're exercising, generated by the mitochondria here. Now again, high levels of these can be very, very bad for us. However, so again, everything in moderation. Too much of a good thing too much of a good thing can be a bad thing. So always good to keep that in mind. So moving on to conclusion and discussion. So, further studies are needed to determine how antioxidants fully interact with the body. We have the human genome mapped out. However, we still don't understand fully how all of our genes are turned off and on, especially with, different genetic factors, different nutrient combinations, different lifestyle interventions, things of that nature. Definitely more studies needed there. There's, of course, the debate between antioxidant supplementation versus antioxidant consumption from foods and their benefits. Is it good to get antioxidants in our diet? It's looking like yes. However, supplementation of antioxidants, no. So where's that difference between eating them or consuming them through food and then just taking the supplement? So I'm going to end with a question. that is antioxidant consumption from whole foods beneficial? Or is the standard American diet so bad for us that eating any other diet or unprocessed food shows significant improvements in health? So is the benefit coming from the food not actually, piece of bread, a whole wheat piece of bread? Is the benefit come from that being a whole food and not fried in oil? Or does the benefit actually come from the vitamins and minerals themselves? Is the oil and the fried process, cooking process so bad for us that it overshadows those vitamins and minerals, or do the vitamin minerals actually have some sustenance there and benefit to our health? So I'll end on that question there. And that was my presentation on antioxidant supplementation. So